So here I've got Jeff Loomis's Charvel Star, and he wanted something very similar to a Warren DeMartini design. So I basically have wrapped it both sides, have the design go around the sides as well, and then the two larger surfaces are all tied together. So he wants it to be somewhat distressed, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to distress it, and I'm going to start with 500 grit and a little bit of water, and I'm just going to kind of control. Take it back. Now the line isn't that tall. Nothing here is really that thick. But the secret is to not take too much off and vary the level of transparency that I'm going to have here in the black when I'm done. You could probably do this with 320 dry, but this stuff will all wipe up pretty easily. And this is just the first step. So I decided to switch over to dry sanding because I'm not real happy with the level of red residue that's being left behind on this. So I'm going to go in and clean it up, take some naphtha. And a lot of this is going to be coming off, but the problem with it being dry paper is because it is base coat, it likes to clog really fast. So I'm going to wear down the edges here, where it'd be more natural for the wear to exist. And I'll be doing this for a while, and then we'll come back after I get this kind of wrapped up, and then go on to some of the airbrushing. How's that? Alright, so this has been pretty much finished as far as some of the weathering and some of the water effects and stuff like that. All the sanding's done. First thing I did when I came in here, I took some white and used a business card, and I kind of popped some of the white, excuse me, right there you go, pure white in the area here just to kind of add a little color variation. And then I'm going to go in with the black. So I did the front side and kind of see how that looks. And you can certainly go as crazy as you'd like on that. So this is where we left off after I sanded it and Scotch-Brited it. Let's take this little bit of white. Add some nice highlights in here just to kind of break it up a little bit. No particular order to this. It's going to get quite a bit of black to hide most of this. Okay. No air movement in here. All right. All right. Now we're going to hang it. You can do this a bunch of different ways. It depends. Like this is just simply water and one of the FBS pump and spray. I just kind of pump it up. You can orientate some linear work with the water. Obviously gravity is the main contributing factor there, so if you wanted to do this on a horizontal and have it go this way, then you would set it up on a stand so you'd be spraying it 90 degrees counterclockwise. But I'm going to start with black in the airbrush. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this pump and spray, I'm just going to mist it on. I don't necessarily want a whole lot of running on this. So the lower the air pressure, the bigger the dots are. Let me wipe this down a bit again. All right, so I'm going to take my pump and spray, blow off some of the pressure. You can also dial in the aperture a little bit to make it finer mist. But I'm just going to kind of mist it up on there. And then I'm going to take my black and kind of build this up. Mike Lovely had a product that was called Grunge. It was real similar to this. This is a very old technique, water spotting. I use it a lot for distressing. I like the way it looks and the unpredictability of it. Let me just wipe it off and repeat, and you can keep building the layers as you like. Something you got to be careful of, if some of you guys were home using water-based material, it obviously is a little trickier, in which case I usually let it dry a little bit longer before I wipe it off. And I'll just kind of go around and work it as I want. Some areas will get a little bit more than others. Like the edges, maybe. A little darker there. And try to do your sides to blend in at the same time. When you get to that point where you got pretty much worked up and the water's all pretty well saturated the surface, the fact that we're using base coat, the stuff dries rather quick. And some people put soap in it. You can put soap in, a little bit of dish soap, but I find that I just rather just use pure water. I have tried degreaser. Another thing you can do is to put glycerin in your water, but then you have to make sure you've got it really well degreased after you're done. If you're going to clear it, plan on clear it, which you really should. So at this point, I could do a couple things. I could add some more distressing. And basically, I would be leaving the water spots would be the negative space or the positive space, and the airbrushing is what's going around them. So, but we're going to take one of these texture stencils and I'm going to reverse it. So now I'm spraying the positive in black, and I'm just going to use this for some isolated places, maybe a little staining coming off of that. Turn this around a little bit. Do some blending into the sides. Stain it. Now this would look cool if it was painted to look like almost like a metal canister that had been painted with this Japanese flag on it, the rising sun. But I already got pretty much a light plan for this, and you'll be getting a gloss clear. So. I'm going to go back into this corner here and develop some of this a little bit more with the water spotting. You can see the water spots nicely now, I think, with this lighting. And I'm just going back into the areas where I feel like I want to add just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a nice fresh towel. And you can see how quick the urethane dries on that base coat. This black is Tamco. Tamco black, matrix red on this, over top of the factory. It looks like it was a single stage kind of off-white polyester that was sprayed. I don't know if this was one made down in Mexico. So there you have it. That's what the distressing looks like, and takes us back to a vintage 1944.